Hello and good afternoon. I'm going to be doing a reading vlog today. No, I lied. It's a writing vlog. I'm doing another writing vlog. I figured I would update you guys a little on my writing and about my process. I am going to be working in a library. I'm going to read a little bit, do some book browsing, and do some writing sprints. So the sprints will actually be out in a separate video, and this is the vlog portion of it. So if you just want to watch writing sprints to some chill sounds or whatever, I have forest sounds and rain sounds and me writing up there. But if you want to stick around and talk writing, you are in the right place. Today I am going to be working on the middle of my book. I got my notes back from Yumi. That's Yumi the Book Demon. I'll have her listed down below, as well as my partner. He read and finished the book, and they both had actually very similar notes towards the middle, and I mean, it needs to be worked on. The middle of my book is probably my weakest point. There are good chapters in there. There are good moments in there. I have story beats that I want to hit, but it's missing a bit of the tension, and I need to have a bit more reminder of like the stakes and what is at stake for my main character, because it's kind of like a little bit too smooth of sailing for my MC. All of them, really. Everyone but my antagonist is having like a good time in the middle of my book, and I'm like, you need to suffer. I'm going to have a little bit of antics, a little bit of suffering. I actually don't know what I'm going to be doing yet. I will be pantsing some of the problems that occur. I just need to make sure I'm staying true to the characters, true to the overall story arc and my themes. Yeah, I'll update you guys in a little bit, but that's pretty much what this vlog is going to be about. If you are writing a book, I loved all of the comments that were written down below in my first writing vlog. So if you have a book you are working on and you are either working on the middle or revising the middle, how is your middle going? If you feel really confident about how the middle of your book is, I want to know some of your tips and tricks or how you got it there. If you are struggling like I am, maybe we can work through this process together. Let me know if there's things that are really bugging you about it, or if you can't quite pinpoint what's wrong, because that's how I felt before handing my book off. I knew something was not boring, but boring about my book, and I could not figure out what it was until I got my notes back. Again, highly recommend having people look at your writing. Trusted people first, people who want you to succeed. Go with them, and then after that, get that feedback and see what works for you. I'm going to be doing some reading first, so I'll be doing live reading sprints, and then I will be doing writing sprints. I'm spending the day at the library. This is a self-care me day, and it's happening, and it feels good, and I'm really excited. I have that writing bug. I'm hoping to get some inspiration from the books I'm currently reading. I'll link the live show up to that, unless it's terrible and it doesn't work because public Wi-Fi. And yeah, I'll update you in a little bit. It's getting rambly and I want to be helpful, not distracting. Got back from one of my 5-minute breaks, and technically it's more than 5 minutes because I'm talking to you, but in the sprints video that I put out, it will be just 5 minutes because this won't be in there. I don't know why you need to know any of that. So I figured out some of the things I'm going to be doing, and I wanted to share them while still being vague because I don't want to like spoil my own book, because this is the middle section of it, just to give you guys an idea of what I'm thinking and trying to do, so that if you decide you want to do it, or if you just need something to like spark your brain, I am here to spark. Take my glasses off for a hot second. What I was able to come up with when I was doing some brainstorming is that I want to add to an existing scene. I don't want to add a whole new scene, and I don't want to take a whole scene out. So I'm just going to kind of reconstruct a scene so that the ending is a little bit more rushed. Not like written rushed, but the characters are feeling more rushed, like they have some urgency in getting back to where they want to go. The stakes just feel higher. They know they're doing something wrong, the reader knows they're doing something wrong, and then nothing happens. There is a consequence, but you can't see it. So instead, I want a visual consequence. There is a larger consequence that won't be seen until later, but I want to focus on a smaller consequence that is more tangible, that they can see. They need to not think that they got away with something or they need to be really scared that they're not going to get away with something and then get away with it, but not really. I'm making this confusing. The idea here is, towards the middle of my book, many of my characters go into the city. They are not supposed to go into the city, or one specifically cannot go into the city, so the fact that she does so is kind of a huge deal. Things happen, point being, that was it. That's that's the scene. There's not any big problem that really occurs that you see on page until like the dead end. So I don't want that. I want something more. But yeah, I think I'm going to have one of the characters recognized because right now they're in disguise, so we'll see. Okay, so it has been a little bit, and I'm frustrated because I just wrote an entire scene and I think I'm not going to use it, or I'm not going to use all of it. I had someone not recognize the character, but I was just kind of following the dialogue and the natural order of things. Instead of the character being recognized, they're just being talked about as if they aren't there because they're in disguise. While I liked several elements in the scene, I don't think I'm going to keep it, which is so... It happens. It's a deleted scene. A lot of the time I do deleted scenes on purpose. I'll write a scene that I have never intended to be in the book, and it's just character development and stuff like that. I will be making a video on that because I had a couple people ask. But for this video, staying on topic, I think I'm going to end up having to delete that scene. I'm going to use some of the dialogue pieces, but overall I got somewhere. I know what I'm going to do. I'm gonna have them arrested, I think. But for right now, I need the 5-minute break. I'm gonna go take my 5-minute break. Okay, so the sprint portion of my video is done. I packed up my laptop and I'm gonna move areas. This area was really nice, really like relaxing to film in because it was so private, but there's a really big window area where I can't really film because there's not a place to set you. I just need a change of scenery. I'm surrounded by books, which is perfectly nice, perfectly wonderful, but I'm doing a lot of outside scenes right now. Hello? Are you gonna zoom? Hi. I'm doing a lot of outside scenes right now, and it's hard being in such like a closed off space. I'm gonna have to put my mask on because this is a private area. I'm not bothered, so I can not wear my mask. It's okay. I can wear my mask for a little bit. Yeah, that's that update. Okay, so it might be a little harder to hear me because I have a mask on and I'm not taking it off because this is a mask zone versus my mask-free zone I had earlier. Sorry, it's also a louder area, which is why I was in the other area before. I'm having a little bit of trouble with dialogue because the scene is already written. Like, I already naturally know what they're doing, so I'm taking them out of the natural thing that they were doing, and now I'm making them do something different. So, a little stressed there. I'm just trying to make sure that it's smooth, that it doesn't come across as me just injecting a whole new situation into a scene. I don't want it to feel unnatural, so I'm really taking my time with it and just kind of getting the dialogue beats down, and I'm not focusing on the descriptions at all. So right now it's a little bland, but it is a new scene. I had to rewrite a lot. It was one scene, and then I made it another, and then I extracted the dialogue from that one and put it in a new situation. That's what I'm trying to say. My goodness. It is really hard to talk about your writing. Awkward. I did some streamlining and I added a little bit of description and stuff like that. So I have an injected scene into my new scene. I added descriptions. I feel like the dialogue is right. I moved forward into other dialogue moments to make the scene that I had just written feel more real and grounded in their reality so that they are now remembering throughout the book moving forward that that scene happened, and their reactions feel natural. I honestly... The library is closing in 10 minutes. Okay, I have to rush this. I am done. I closed the library out. I was there from noon to... What time is it? What time does the library close? It is 5:55. I have been here for 6 hours. I did reading, I think for 2 hours, and then I did writing. I don't know how much I wrote, but I wrote a lot. It felt like such a good self-care day, and I'll have to do this again. I think I'm gonna try a different library just to like mix it up, but that felt really successful. I wrote so much. I don't know how much I caught at the end because I was so flustered by the library closing. To wrap this up, I did end up finishing that scene. I kind of like spruced it up a little bit. Instead of focusing on like smoothing it out in all the other areas, I did an overall like look at how I wanted it to go. In some areas I knew that the city was mentioned. Anytime that that scene was mentioned or thought about, I just went through and did a quick search. I will be listening to it tonight for inconsistencies. The majority of my time was spent first writing the scene, then rewriting the scene and taking elements I liked from it. Then I kind of messed around with dialogue because I needed the dialogue to feel natural, as I had said before, and it was coming off as kind of not forced because I feel like they were acting themselves, but they felt uncomfortable in the scene because they were just doing something different. So I had to get the mood and the attitude right. I had to have them shift into this new situation I was kind of thrusting them in and making sure that it like matched up correctly, because I didn't want to feel like I just inserted it in, and that took a lot of time. I spent a lot of time on dialogue. The rest of my time was mostly spent on description and kind of fleshing the scene out, making it more visual. Some of my characters are fairly humorous. Yeah, they're witty too, so that makes it difficult for me because I am not. A couple of the times I just had to put insert joke because I'm not that funny, but I will come up with something because they'll come up with something, but yeah, a couple of my things just say insert joke. But apart from that, the dialogue's doing good. Scene description looks good, all that. I'm just rambling at this point. I really like how this writing process went. I felt the tension build more after writing this scene. When I reflected back on the scene, any other moment it was mentioned, it definitely had a ripple effect in how the main character was seeing herself, which is great because my main character is a fairly selfish person. That is one of her flaws. She is partially aware that she's selfish, but she hasn't quite figured out how to mold and shape that into a self-care aspect. So adding the scene definitely built up tension, reminded us of the stakes, and had the surprise additive of having self-reflection because of some of the things that were said in the dialogue. She took a lot of those things in, is kind of chewing on them throughout the rest of the middle of the book, which is great because that makes it a little bit more interesting. She's not having all the fun in the world. She has some criticisms being thrown at her that she doesn't want to hear. I would like to make her suffer more, but I think I want to focus on making some of the other characters uncomfortable. Maybe that's what I'll focus on next time. I really need to work on the middle of my book, and then the epilogue randomly is the other piece. So I'm officially just like hopping, but I don't want to write my epilogue over before I get some of this middle figured out to see if there's any more of those ripple effects. To my best ability, I'm writing in order, but there is no order. There is only chaos. All right, I am going to head home. I am really appreciative if you stuck around, and if you liked this video, I'm gonna do the YouTuber thing. If you liked this video, please like it. Let me know how you're liking these videos, because writing videos are definitely new to me, and I would benefit from the encouragement of knowing that you are enjoying these videos. Or if you have constructive or kind feedback or criticism, I'm completely open to that as well. I think part of writing is being open to feedback and criticism. I was told the middle of my book sucked. I mean, they said it nicer. They loved my characters, they loved the story or whatever, but the middle was boring. The middle needed more, and I don't want to have a book with a saggy middle. I don't want to like live blissfully unaware thinking that my book is perfect when really it's not. And that goes for my videos as well. So if you have constructive feedback, see, I brought that around, I would love to know about it. I'm completely open to it, and I'm also open to hearing about your books and how they're going. Regardless if you interact with this video or not, I hope you are enjoying the sun or more stars wherever you are, and until next time, bye!